Hello, and welcome to Rhetorian Films. My name is Aurelius, and today I want to talk to you about It's a Wonderful Life. The old 1946 movie, I believe, 1946. Yeah, I believe that's correct. And I just want to talk about it, right? Just talk. I just got finished watching it tonight with my sister, and it was my first time watching It's a Wonderful Life. And it was a very interesting movie, and I thought at first I thought it was like an old, back in the day, when I was, I don't know, a teenager. I didn't think It Was a Wonderful Life was going to be a very good movie, so I didn't watch it. I think my family watched it. I want to say my dad and my other sister watched It's a Wonderful Life, and it just didn't seem to be that interesting of a movie. I mean, it's an old movie, 1946. It's black and white. Like who wants to go see kind of stuff like that? But I've been watching a lot of movies recently, a lot of movies, and this is not the oldest movie that I've seen. Maybe it was The Wizard of Oz is the oldest. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I wanted to watch It's a Wonderful Life this year because I was like, I want some more Christmas movies and whatnot. So I wanted to give it a shot. I wanted to see what kind of Christmas movie is this. And I thought most of the movie would be the angel showing his life, George's life. And I found it really interesting that they spent most of the movie, like the first, I think it's 2 hours, I want to say it's like 2 hours, 10 minutes, something like that. And they spend the first hour and 40 minutes showing his life. And then they spend like the last half hour where he wishes he was never born, and then he goes and sees all the different things of like what all would happen. And like that story kind of resonated with me. It was interesting because it's like you see he thought he would go see the world and be a big man, and he wanted to do something important with his life. He wanted to make a difference, do something big with his life, and turns out he did. I thought it was interesting. Because he felt like he didn't do anything with his life. He felt like his life was worthless. And then he goes and looks and finds out that his life wasn't worthless. Actually, he did so much good in the life he was given, the one that he didn't want to have. And that's interesting, It shows all the different things that like you don't even realize are going on, like all the different people you've touched. He spent so much of the reason why he took over his father's business was because he wanted to make sure that Mr. Potter didn't take over the town and finance that stuff. And so when he sees that, he sees all the terrible things that have been happening to the town because Mr. Potter took over, because he wasn't there to stop when his dad died. He wasn't there to stop Mr. Potter from dissolving his dad's company. And I thought that was wonderful. It was a really interesting way to show that just because you're not going out and living a glamorous lifestyle, you can touch people's lives. You can do a whole lot more. And and of course at the end, all the people coming in, and that was beautiful. The way that everybody just came in and they'd put money down. They were giving him their money to help him out because he had done so much for them, and it was touching. He just feels like there's nothing he can do, and he's just like, oh, well, I'm worth more dead than I am alive. And it's like no, that's not true at all, And I think there's a lot of people out there who feel that way, And there's a lot of people who don't really know what they've done. I mean, myself included, I don't know. Yeah, I haven't done a whole lot, And I found it interesting, at least in the last couple years of my life, that I've, kind of started realizing I've done more than I had in my previous many years. I used to live, as a teenager, I felt like I didn't exist to the people around me, and kind of seeing how he's like, how he feels like he's not really worth much, and then all these people are showing them that how much George has touched everybody's lives, and how much of an effect George's life was worth to all these people around him. And that was beautiful. So I think also, interesting note, while I was watching the movie, I can't help myself, but I looked up the amounts of money that they were talking about, and because so when Mr. Potter offers George a first of all he talks about how much George makes. I think he made like $45 a week, and that ended up being, I can't remember exactly how much that was, but the $45 a week ends up being around $52,000 a year in today's money. So when you watch that, think about how much that is. And the $20,000 that now for us, $20,000 is like, that ain't nothing. Like nobody can live off of $20,000 a year. Nobody can live off that. But Mr. Potter, what he was offering George was $500,000 per year. Like, let that sink in. In today's money, what Mr. Potter was offering George Bailey was $500,000. That's what George turned down into. Like, if this was today, he's talking about like, okay, so he would be making like $52,000 a year. That's what George would be making, $52,000 a year, which is not enough to support a family. But $52,000 a year is what he would be making by owning the business, is running the business, which is what he's doing. And then Mr. Potter says, "Hey, I'll buy up your business and I'll hire you for $500,000 a year." Like, the guy was going balls to the walls with that one. Balls to, like he was just like, he wasn't taking any chances. The guy was making $52,000 a year, and Mr. Potter's just like, yeah, so it's like, what? Like, I can offer him 100,000. No. 200. No. We're gonna go $500,000. For a 3-year contract, he was offering $1.5 million to George Bailey for that position on that 3-year contract. Okay, next time you watch It's a Wonderful Life and he says 20,000, remember, $500,000. Okay, and when you talk about like $10, like you couldn't save $10 a week, that's actually like $170 in today's money. So it sounds absurd when you're watching the movie and he's like, you can't even save $10 a day. It's like $170. $10 a week is $170. I think they were talking about like $45 a week. That's like, that's like his would be the annual salary of $52,000. I don't even make $52,000. Like, it's, that's in 52,000. That's it's decent. It's like for a single guy like me, $52,000 a year is, it's good money. It's good starting off. But for a family, the guys, that's basically the poverty. Like, that's bad. Like, I think you have to, like right now, I think you need to make at least $80,000 a year to be able to support a family. And yeah, like 52,000, that's not a lot of money. Granted, then housing prices were less. I think $5,000 was worth $70-some thousand. So if they built a house for $5,000, that's like building a house for like $70,000 today. It's like, okay, that's crazy. That is actually, no, that is very crazy, because that is extremely low. Like, that is absurd. You cannot find a house for $75,000 today, let alone build one. But yeah. So I think what other interesting stuff about the movie? Man, it's interesting. Older movies. You think they're going to be like kind of cringy and corny, but honestly, it's usually the horror, like the horror movies and like the superhero movies. Those are usually the ones that age the worst. The ones that are built like not off of like franchises or IP. Those are the ones that actually last. And I think It's a Wonderful Life. You know, I think it could probably be remade. That would be. I think that would be fantastic. I don't know. Have they remade? I don't know if they remade It's a Wonderful Life. I do not know that. I'm guessing not, because everybody always goes back to the 1946 version. So, yeah, it's a story that resonates with us as humans, because it's a story about a man who touches the lives of many people and doesn't know it, doesn't realize it, and it's fantastic to see, like, after, like, he because you build this character up through the entire movie, and so you really get to know him. You get to know who he is, and by the end of the movie, he loses basically everything. He basically becomes a nobody and sees what life for everybody else is without him. And then you see, yeah, and it's a wonderful story. So, well, thank you very much for watching. If you did watch this far into the video, this was a little chat that we have. I'm gonna make some more of these videos coming up soon in 2024. But that is my first time seeing It's a Wonderful Life in 2023. Merry Christmas.